If you've ever wanted a profitable live event, I need you to know that the starting line is breaking even. I've got a formula to share with you and some nuances that I think are going to prove extremely helpful. So stay tuned. This episode is going to be all about how not to lose money on your next event. Super sexy topic, yes? So here we go. Let's dive in because I get this question all the time. People want to know how not to lose money. In fact, I got on the phone or on a Zoom, I guess, with a woman from Linchpin Nation recently, and she wanted to hop on a call because she had an event coming up in about a month, and she was super excited about it. And she'd invested probably about $50,000 into a venue that had a contract for sleeping rooms and meeting space and food and beverage. So excited to welcome her community in, has a very engaged community. And there was one snag. 4 weeks out, no one signed up. That is the stuff nightmares are made of. And I don't want you to ever be in that position. So today we're going to talk about how not to lose money on your next event. 3 things for you today. First, I want you to follow the formula. And I put it together into a PDF for you. Just go to greenroomcentral.com and download it. Click the button that says how not to lose money. I have created this formula that I like to call the break-even point formula. Not the sexiest name, I know, but it is the thing that when you follow it, it will ensure you don't lose money. And that's what I want for you, okay? It's just that events are kind of like a runaway train in that it is very easy to very quickly spend more than you're bringing in. I know. I have managed millions of dollars of event spend in my 20 plus years of helping to produce events on small budgets and big budgets. And so I know a thing or two about what it takes to manage a budget and also maximize a budget. Not every event has to be spending $50,000 or $1 million or even $5. So I want you to go grab a copy of that PDF, download it, read through it. It gives you the formula. Or hand it to the person on your integrator on your team, the person who's detail oriented and will ingest all of that information and integrate it into your process for your next event, okay? It's got a simple formula that's 3 steps. First, I'll just give you the high level. We're not going to go in as in depth as is in that PDF. But first, it's price the event. It's get to know what it costs to put on that dream event that's on your heart. We have talked about this in all of those episodes that I did on manifesting your dream event. Go back and listen, because I talk about how you have to have a vision first, and then you have to go price the vision. And so that's the first step in the formula. The break-even point formula is pricing out all of those wish list items, okay? And then the second thing is monetizing it. It's figuring out how much is it going to cost, and then how can we make money to offset those expenses and make some money, right? It's easiest, spoiler alert, if you're making a high ticket offer at your event, okay? So know that. And don't be scared about making a high ticket offer, all right? If you need some encouragement, drop into my DMs and I will cheer you on. So we've got price it, we've got monetize it, and one more tip in that monetize it section. I want you to attempt to make money on your event in more than one way. I was just talking to a business owner, super savvy, has run lots of events and lost money on their most recent event because they brought money, they planned to bring in money on a VIP upsell that didn't sell. And I want you to have revenue coming in from multiple streams. It's just like how they teach us to manage our money as entrepreneurs, to have multiple streams of income. Well, I want that for you inside of your event. I want you to be expecting money to come in many different places so that all of your eggs are not in one basket. Okay? So that's monetize it. And then the final step in that 3-step formula is to figure out that break-even point so that you know, okay, we once we get to this point, like, whew, like deep breath, you can let it all out. We can let the deep breath out and know that we have everything covered. And now everything beyond this point is money in our pocket. And that feels amazing. And I want that for you. So download a copy of that guide at greenroomcentral.com. Give it to someone who manages all the details for you. It definitely is something for someone who's detail oriented. And you're on your way. If you need a deeper dive than that, we go deep on the money stuff inside of Live Event Academy. Again, just drop into my DMs and Instagram and I'll tell you how to get into that group coaching program. Now, we've talked about the formula. That's number one. It really is simply awareness. It's knowing what's going on with the money stuff. It's painting that picture once of what it's going to cost, and then it's just checking in weekly to ensure that you are aware of where you're at. Are you on track, off track? Do we need to adjust some dials? It's as easy as that. So the second thing I want to talk about is when it comes to how not to lose money on your next event is all about expecting the unexpected, okay? And we're going to talk about this because most people, this is not you, but most people won't do number one, what we talked about, the whole formula business. Most people aren't going to do it. And so because of that, I kind of want to talk about these next two things so that there's just kind of nuances to the whole money piece of events. And I want to share this with you in the hope that it sticks for you and you're one of the lucky ones who not only does step number one, which is finding your break-even point, but number two, you're aware of these nuances and it helps you even more. So expect the unexpected. I want you to expect that hosting your own event will bring up so many things you did not expect. And I'm laughing because I'm remembering standing in line at this buffet and I was getting dinner. It was just this magical, warm evening in Florida. I think early on in an event that I was producing, and the president of the company was next to me. And I, at the time, was planning my wedding and also planning this event. And I think I made some sort of comment that I wanted to go perfectly. And he said something along the lines of, that's not a thing. Like, stuff will go wrong. And that was above the fold front page news to me as how old was I? Planning my wedding. I was going to give you my age at the time. Doing the math here. I don't know. What was I, like 25-ish? So as a 20-something young woman, it was above the fold front page news that stuff doesn't go perfectly. And that's my message for you here with Expect the Unexpected. Expect that you're going to have less guests than you planned. Expect that you are going to have more guests than you planned. Expect that there are going to be some expenses that you had not planned of, did not even have it on your radar that it was a thing to spend money on that. Expect the unexpected, okay? And don't lose your marbles when the unexpected comes. I'm not going to know what it is for you, but I do know that the unexpected is going to come. And I always like to have a cushion of money in a budget for that, just that very thing, the unexpected. And I'd encourage you to have money set aside as well for that unexpected something, special something, shiny object that comes your way. So expect the unexpected, follow formula. Third thing to talk about while we're on this conversation of how not to lose money on your next event is I want you to be flexible. Be flexible. Back to my wedding. I did not have the budget to plan the wedding of my dreams, but I knew my non-negotiables. I knew that I could pick one thing that was so special to me and invest money in that, and then just let go of needing to spend money or wanting to spend money on a whole bunch of other stuff. And so what mattered most to me was that our guests had a really wonderful, magical experience at our wedding. And so what we invested in was a big band. We had like I don't know, 16-piece big band with a couple of singers. Like, how crazy is that? And we played big band music, and it was magical. And definitely unexpected for our guests, and we had so much fun. And I can't wait someday to go do it again and throw like another wedding for myself, and where we do some sort of like vow renewal and throw another big band wedding. It would be so fun. But this time, a destination. Oh, yeah. I was watching the Super Bowl, and I got some, it was on I was on Instagram and during the Super Bowl, and I think it's the quarterback of the team that won. Is it the Chiefs? The Green Bay Packers weren't playing, so it was lost on me who was competing. But anyways, I think it was the quarterback of the team who won, and I got a post in my feed that day from, I think it was the videographer from that person's wedding, and the footage was stunning of this spot on Maui, which happens to be where I took my honeymoon. And oh my gosh, the venue looked spectacular, so elegant, and it renewed my excitement for a destination vow renewal, second wedding, big band scenario. I can picture it. It's going to be so fun. Okay, tangent. Let's go back. We're talking about being flexible and knowing your non-negotiables, and then being flexible with the rest, right? So know what matters to you. For me, it was the big band, and we invested heavily in that. And then the rest of the stuff, like, I didn't get to rent the fancy chairs and fancy linens and have the obnoxiously amazing flower arrangements of my dreams. I didn't get to have all those things because there wasn't money for everything. And so I just did the best of what I had for those pieces, and it was lovely. And I want you to be flexible too, and know that it might not happen on this event, but it might be able to happen on the next event. So be flexible and don't do stuff like, for example, host an event at a hotel where they're going to charge you a ton of fees, where they're going to make you sign a contract for maybe a room block in addition to the meeting space rental and a food and beverage minimum. Don't lock yourself into something like that when maybe this is your first time and you haven't proven out what amount of guests you can bring in, what amount of revenue, what you can generate as a result of the event, what your conversion ratios look like for not only registering, but showing up and also converting at the event, right? So just like hold your horses and be flexible and know that it might not be this event, but it could be the next one, okay? So that is my message on being flexible. Know what matters to you and then just let go of the rest, all right? Just choose something meaningful that you want to invest in, and then go ahead and let go of your attachment on the rest. I'm hoping this is helpful today. I'm hoping that download that guide at greenroomcentral.com. You'll hand it to someone on your team who manages details for you. You'll follow that formula so that you're aware of the money stuff. You'll expect the unexpected. You'll be flexible, okay? Promise me you'll do that. Because on my watch, I do not want you losing money on your next event. And if you've got a question that's like, gosh, I wonder what would happen if I feel like I have a special situation here, just drop that question into my DMs and I can help you out, okay? Thanks for hanging out with me today. I appreciate you. Make it an outstanding rest of the day. Take care.